G'day. Over the past few years, I've been fortunate to travel to some pretty amazing places, both as a regular four-wheel driver and on my show, Pat Callinan's 4x4 Adventures. So I know just how extreme and unforgiving that terrain can be on your vehicle's components. Trips to iconic places such as the Simpson Desert and along the Canning Stock Route mean that your vehicle is heavily loaded with supplies, extra fuel, camping gear, and if you're like me, you'll probably be towing a camper trailer as well. Whether you're bouncing along hundreds of kilometres worth of corrugations or climbing up a steep slope, you want a suspension system that offers you enough ground clearance, great wheel travel, plenty of control and comfort, and improved ride and towing performance.
Now, the original suspension on most four-wheel drives is set up for light loads and city sort of driving. So it's no surprise that when you load your four-wheel drive up for a good outback trip with all those extra supplies,
the original suspension can show signs of lost ground clearance and reduce ride comfort, handling and reliability. When you're out on the track, insufficient or incorrect suspension not only reduces the capabilities of your four-wheel drive, but it can be very dangerous too.
With the number of suspension companies around these days, it can be really tough finding the right suspension for your needs. I've been fortunate enough to see firsthand the lengths that the OldManEmu team go to ensure their suspension systems are amongst the best in the world.
So it was an easy decision to have my vehicles fitted with OldManEmu suspension. And I've got to tell you, I've really felt the difference.
The advantages of an OldManEmu suspension system can be felt every single time you drive.
Engineered to respond rapidly to the terrain, OldManEmu suspension delivers improved ride and towing capabilities, increased wheel travel, great load carrying characteristics, and reduced wear on your vehicle's components. And after days of travelling in locations such as the Kimberley and the Gulf, you really get to appreciate the levels of comfort and control a complete OldManEmu suspension kit provides.
In choosing the right suspension for your vehicle, there are a number of things that you do need to think about.
Australia's driving conditions are pretty unique, and when you travel great distances, your vehicle's ability to carry loads becomes hugely important. OldManEmu engineers a range of coil springs, leaf springs and torsion bars to suit a variety of loads and applications that feature an exceptional resistance to sagging and corrosion.
Particularly when you're travelling up steep slopes or through deeply rutted tracks, good approach and departure angles are critical.
Depending on your vehicle and the kit you choose, OldManEmu delivers a lift of up to 50mm, enough to get you over some pretty tricky obstacles without scraping or damaging the underside of your four-wheel drive and leaving you with no option but to try another way around.
You really want your wheels to stay on the ground to maintain control when you hit those big bumps.
Without great wheel travel, not only are you looking at a rough ride, you also run the risk of losing control. In developing OldManEmu nitrocharger shocks, lots of focus is put on their ability to rapidly apply full suspension travel during harsh bumps and on uneven terrain.
OldManEmu is the only suspension company in Australia that not only offers fully integrated suspension systems, but designs every single component in-house in Melbourne.
And by that, I really do mean everything. All of the suspension components, from the shock absorbers to the springs to the bushes and the associated hardware, are designed by OldManEmu's engineers, and they're designed specifically for your four-wheel drive. OldManEmu's engineers do nothing else but work on suspension systems for four-wheel drives. In designing the best suspension systems for your vehicle, they go through an in-depth development and testing program unrivaled by any other aftermarket 4x4 suspension company in Australia. For every vehicle, OldManEmu undertakes a huge amount of testing of the original suspension to analyse handling, load carrying ability, roll, float, stability, noise and vibration. The engineers then focus on how to create an entirely new and improved suspension system with enough lift and load carrying capacity to tackle any off-road adventure, while also delivering the huge improvements in handling, ride control and comfort I've come to expect from OME.
But it's the level of component design and integration that really sets OME apart.
The creation of new components such as springs, shocks and bushes begins on the computer using the latest design and analytical software to ensure they're not only super tough but also work brilliantly together. The engineers then manufacture the actual prototypes and test them out both on the dyno and in real life scenarios, be it city driving or on the harshest of corrugations. You might even bump into the OME boys putting the suspension through its paces on your local 4x4 track.
Now, only when OldManEmu engineers are completely satisfied with the improvements they've made with ride, handling, load carrying and control can you get your hands on your brand new set of OldManEmu suspension.
The majority of OldManEmu suspension products are manufactured here in Australia, including coil springs, shocks and greasable shackles. A number of components are actually produced on site at ARB's state-of-the-art manufacturing plant in Melbourne, so you can be sure you are getting the best possible quality.
And to back these homegrown world-class suspension systems, OldManEmu has a network of 120 stockists nationwide.
All with fitters specially trained to install the best OME suspension kit to suit your vehicle and where you're heading. But it's not just Australians who enjoy the benefits an OldManEmu suspension system can deliver. The product line is exported to over 100 countries worldwide.
OldManEmu is a part of ARB 4x4 Accessories, Australia's largest manufacturer and distributor of 4x4 accessories.
With stores and stockists in most regional towns, you can get the best advice and 4x4 equipment for your vehicle right across the country. So if you're going to head off-road, be it for touring, work or weekend camping, and you want a great suspension system designed right here in Australia for our unique terrain, talk to an OldManEmu specialist.
Like me, you'll be amazed by the improvements in ride, handling, load carrying and control, even in the toughest of outback terrain.